In Path of Air 44, after you clear Episode 3, Chapter 10, the final stage, you will get 2 selectors, one for heroes and one for artifacts, with units that were present in Episode 3. As usual, don't claim these immediately. You want to wait at least a few days to see what else you can pick up from your free summons and 5-star tickets. Of course, don't forget to pick these up, so if you know you're going to forget, maybe claim these a little bit earlier. I would at the very least wait to finish Path of Air 45 because there's the Knight Hero Summon ticket in here, and the best unit available from the Selector is a Knight, which is Mort. So there is a chance that you get Mort off of this 5-star hero ticket. Looking ahead a little bit, there's still the 10 daily summons, and then Warrior ticket, more daily summons, so try to hold on to this for a couple of days if you are able to. For me at least, in my mailbox I have less than 1 day left on these, so let us take a look at what the best units to pick from the Hero Selector and the best artifacts to pick from the Artifact Selector are. Let's take a look at the Hero Selector first. By far the best choice is Mort. It doesn't really matter. If you don't have Mort, you should grab him. So make sure that you already did your 5-star Knight ticket just in case. And then next up, if you're more into PvP, Aldous and Alencia are probably the next best choices. They're just nice units to round out your roster with. They're not super strong, like nowhere close to Mort really, but they are nice to have just in case. And then if you're more into PvE, you've got these options here. Cecilia is mostly used for Earth Expedition. She replaces Ross as the tank, and she's just by far the best tank. Her also pretty good utility pops up here and there in PvE. You can definitely use her for Nightmare Cycle as a potential tank for some of the bosses. And every once in a while, you'll see her in other places, like maybe Advent or Hall of Trials. There's also Euphine. Euphine is for one-shotting Banshee 13. And the only reason I have her lower is because even though she is the best Banshee 13 one-shot unit, and it's not particularly close, there are some other options that still kill Banshee 13 relatively easily. So even though she's the best at it, there's some other replacements, so I have her a little bit lower than Cecilia. And then lastly, there's Shu, where Shu has kind of been replaced by Fene at this point. You only ever use Shu at Karkanith, and Fene can just do that fine. So Shu's much lower priority now, but maybe you want to use Fene at a different boss. So you might want to pick up Shu. If you have like all of these units ready, you could consider picking up Shu so you can use Fene at Queen or something. There's also the note here. These units are all like pretty bad, I would say. Flan should probably be above Ilanav, just because you can still use Flan for some cleaves in Arena or something, but super niche. Their best usage is actually probably as imprints. If you have one, keep a copy of every single unit, please. But if you own literally every single character on this list, then you might want to look at Ilanav for an imprint for ML Ilanav or Flan for Afternoon Soak Flan, but that's assuming you have every single character already. Please keep a copy of every single character, just in case they get buffed or something. But yeah, all of these units are varying levels of suck, so we are not going to really talk about these. And then, of course, Bomb Model Kana is a free unit. Please do not pick this unit. You can get her for free in the connections. Now we can take a look at the Artifact Selector. I don't think any of these artifacts are really super good. That's why S tier is empty. So we have A tier instead with Rise of a Monarch, which is only used on one character. That character just happens to be very good, and it's ML Ilanav. If you have ML Ilanav and you don't have this artifact, I highly recommend picking it up. It's her best in slot artifact. There's also Unseen Observer, which is pretty niche. You use it on some rangers if you want the 10 soul boost from it, and that's mainly its usage. Something like if you're using ML Politis in Guild War, it can be nice getting 10 souls for Genua or something, is one of the use cases that I use it for. It's kind of just nice to have, but not really super mandatory or anything. Merciless Glutton just increases your damage on single target attacks. Some people use it for cleaves. It's also just a decent generic damage boost artifact for anybody, especially newer players, because you're not going to have the 20% damage boost artifacts that people got from anniversaries. So this is just a okay option. Now down here we have some more. Double-Edged Crescent is one of the evasion artifacts. and it gives you a chance to counter when you get hit. It sounds okay, but no one really uses this. All of the evasion units really just use Shepherd. So yeah, this ends up not getting really used that much, despite having the same evasion rate as Shepherd. We've also got air-to-surface missile Misha. This has two problems. One, for all of the units that are at 70% evasion and you have units with 50% hit chance, you need plus 30 for this to be consistent, which kind of sucks. And also, even if it is plus 30, the damage boost it gives, which is crit damage boost, is less than other damage boosting artifacts, so you're kind of losing out on a bit of damage there, a bit unfortunate. It's like a decent budget. I ran out of options for DPS Rangers artifact, but that's about it, really. And then there's Snow Crystal, which barely anyone uses this, but it is relatively unique. Its effect is just when you get hit by a non-critical attack, you get CR push, and it gives you a chance to dodge crits. And this is technically the only artifact that works for evasion warriors. Not that there's that many of them, but it does give you CR push when they miss on you. Not that important, it's just an artifact that exists and is maybe okay eventually. It's hard to say, but all of these artifacts are not that great. And then there's this tier down here where pretty much all of these artifacts are completely useless. You can use Lensonox's Wrath on Alencia. Her preferred artifact is Limited Artifact. It's Leaf's artifact. Prayer of Solitude, I think was the name. But it's not really worth looking for in a selector. I think if you have the problem is none of these artifacts are that good in isolation, but if you have ML Ilwanav or something, I might consider getting a Limit Break for Eyes of Monarch before looking at any of the ones down here. So now we can take a look at my account and we can see what I'm going to pick. Click on Show Unacquired Only, and our only real choices are just the PvE tier. So you've been a Banshee 13 one-shot, but I do plan on picking up Bologna, and I'm pretty confident that Bologna can one-shot it. If you are not so sure, you can check the Banshee 13 one-shot guide that I have, as well as the damage calculator, and just see whether or not your gear on Bologna would actually kill. So I'm leaning towards Cecilia. Shu would be nice for Karkanis. Fene is not available in Story Summon yet. Once Fene is available, you would just Story Summon her instead. But even then, I think Cecilia is just very nice to have, so we'll take Cecilia from this. We have Ceci. And then for the artifact, I also have a lot of things here. It's between Unseen Observer and Merciless Glutton. Not too happy about having to pick any of these, really. The only issue with Unseen Observer is just I have nobody to use it right now. Not that I really have anybody that loves Glutton either, but it's at least more generically usable, I would say. If you plan on picking up Sea Phantom Politis, this is definitely an option for if you're using her on Guild War or Arena Offense or something, though. I'm not so sure if I'm going to be doing that necessarily, so I'm gonna go with Glutton for now, I think. Let me think. There is the Headhunt coming up, but don't know if I'm picking Politis from that. We'll just take Glutton. So now we've got that, we can lock it. And that's it for the Episode 3 Selectors Guide.